This is a guide to football, the European football, the international football, not American football. Okay, I was a passionate fan of football soccer for almost the first half of my life, and this is the thing I would like to be said about winning in football that no one is talking about. This won't have endless case studies and boring useless examples that only add words to the creation. This creation is brief and for those that want to achieve perfection on the fine art of football soccer. This is for the international market, neither the USA, not for the rest of the world, it's for both. Okay. First you gotta know that the inspiration or desperation to score a goal only makes you get impatient, imprecise, and do useless distances that will drain you out. The one running should be the ball in the first instance and the defenders on the second one. So have patience and practice being precise under huge pressures. Also, when not in possession, be desperate to get the ball. The best way to proceed is the one with "I'm having fun doing passes" low mentality. The final objective is to pass the ball to the goal line, not through air but on the pitch, not shooting. And those who don't respect this edict should be removed from the main team, even if they score a goal in their style, technique or tactic, because they are breaking the system out, taking shortcuts and not having the mentality that in the long term will benefit the team enormously with numerous goals. You should not break this law. This is how this works. The two mid-back defenders should be fast and preferably tall, around 1.85 meters, 6 feet 1 inch. But tall isn't necessary. Fabio Cannavaro was at least the best defender in the 2006 World Cup and he's around average, 5'9" or 175 meters. The lateral defenders should have stamina and a good skill on making header passes on attack to the penalty box. This is the only exception to the law of making passes through the ground. The midfielders have the most responsibility because they are the ones that dictate how the game will go, if forwards or backwards. They should be calm on attack and desperate to get the ball on defense more than any other. The strikers should be at the right place at the right time, and that's a skill, but it also depends on the headers they receive and passes from the midfielders and defenders. Rarely defenders though. Good attack wins matches, but good defense wins championships. Unknown author. The pressure you should apply on the other team should be high on intensity and on field, so that you force them to make a long lob or header pass that divides the ball. You have to provoke on them what you want to avoid an attack. Small note, when there's a keeper's kick, the ball goes to the midfield or farther, you should not concentrate on the first touch of that ball, but on the second, when the ball starts being in possession of someone and touching the ground. You should be desperate to get the ball once it's passed onto your midfield. If it's on the other defender's side of possession, you're not bad, but you should go do high pressure to get the ball as soon as possible, but their field possession isn't dangerous for you. Expect them making a low pass or a forward pass. That's when you're most likely to intercept a ball. One-on-one defending is essential if you're a midfielder or a defender, except the last line man, the number 2, who is supposed at all times to go for the ball when it approaches his zone, the penalty box, and a piece forward from it. It assures you that there won't be free receivers. Doing defense by zone only gives the adversary team the chance to have someone not under defensive pressure. Okay. When your team possesses the ball, normally it starts in the midfield or in own territory. The second you recover the ball, you should, if near the ball, free yourself from the opposite team's defense and ask for the ball. The main objective is to pass it around. The longest allowed pass is 20 meters, 21.8 yards. So you can only make small passes. Kicking the ball farther than 20 meters, and especially as a cross or lob, is strictly prohibited, due to the fact that you don't practice the law and you throw the ball and divide its possession. You shouldn't be afraid to pass it forward and risk losing it. You should pass it forward a big portion of the time, more than half the time. The one moving should be the ball in the first instance and the players not in possession in a second one. You have to set up rules when a guy gets through the defensive lines of the opposite team and has options. To pass parallel to the finish line, to pass it back to someone, or to go for a score of a goal. When the defense line hasn't reached the small box, the one with the ball possession should make a parallel to the finish line pass. If the defensive line has passed the small box, you should try to make a pass back or diagonal to a free fellow mate. And if you're inside the small box or penalty box and have no free pass, you should try and make an attempt to pass the ball through the goal line. How to train this skill? There is nothing like a real championship match to practice, but making the team train for something important like paying the dinner, doing push-ups to the winner team, or getting money will improve their motivation and focus on practicing the strategy evoked in this brief creation. Here are some exercises that will make players practice their game. If you get bored from doing or dictating these exercises, then you don't love football because they are in essence what you will do in a match. Training number 1. On the middle of the pitch, start 3 attackers and defend, and there are 5, including the keeper. The ball starts at the center circle and the attackers have to get to the penalty box with the ball, and only then can they pass the ball to the free goal line, where the keeper isn't defending, of course. The exercise will train real scenarios for the players to get them used to passing the ball under pressure. Training number 2. On the midfield starts a single person with the ball against 2 defenders, including the keeper. And the guy with the ball should try to dribble past through the defender and get into a hand-to-hand against the goalie. Training number 3. I want to play a game. The penalty box is filled with 5 defenders, including the keeper, and there are 3 attackers. The game starts with a throw-in from outside the penalty box. That's it. Hope you enjoyed and keep up for the new content I'm making. Cheers.